Hi guys, so sorry about the no video going up a couple of days ago, like I said on my Twitter. My mum and I don't know if you guys know, I can't even remember what I've told, but basically my mum's dad, he lives 10 hours away in the country. I live in Sydney and he lives basically up towards Brisbane and then in a few hours. So he lives really far away and he's actually got dementia. So we've been having, this is our second trip we've had to make up in a couple of months. It's a long drive, it's 10 hours there and 10 hours back. So long story short, we had to go up there unexpectedly. Well, not unexpectedly, but I was planning to have a video up before I left, but that didn't happen. But as you can tell from the title of the video, I had the most amazing paranormal experience, hands down, of my entire life while I was staying up at his house. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory and explain things, because Mum and I have come to a conclusion of to what it was. But first of all, I have another little experience to tell you that happened about a week ago, and I say this in all my videos, but seriously, you guys, I mean it. I posted this story on my Facebook probably a week ago. It happened literally, I think, I posted about it as it was happening, like I was lying in bed and I was posting about it. So if you have not gone to my Facebook page, and I don't get anything out of you guys going to my Facebook page, I have his hair on my eye. The only thing is, like I've said before, I post all my experiences on there way before I make a video about it. So if you want to kind of be up to date and like, I have a piece of hair in my eye, it's really irritating me. Okay, I got it. If you want to be one of the first people, well, not one of the first people, but if you want to hear about my stories before I post them on YouTube, go to my Facebook page. So I posted about this on my Facebook page, but basically it happened on April 28th, if you want to get specific dates. I'm reading it off my phone. This is my Facebook page. On my phone, yeah, because it happened like April 28th, so I have a bad memory. But basically I was lying in bed and I heard really heavy footsteps out here, and like, we have a carpet, but if you hit on it, like that's me hitting on it. Like, I live in a unit block. People downstairs probably like, what the fuck, why are you hitting? Anyway, so yeah, if you hit on the floor or walk on the floor, you know, you can hear the footsteps, but this was like really heavy, like someone was stomping around. And the creepiest thing is, Ali was asleep right next to me. She doesn't stomp, but you know. And my mum, I could hear her snoring. She is like one of the loudest snorers I've ever heard in my entire life. And I heard her snoring, and it was only me, Mum, and Ali at home, obviously. And I was lying there and I was freaking the fuck out, and I tried recording it, but all you could hear is crickets outside. So I was really pissed off, but that was kind of creepy. But I know all you guys are like, what was the paranormal experience? That was so exciting. So I'm going to tell you guys. So, my grandpa lives with his friend Bob. They're not gay or anything. They have lived up in this town. It's really small, so I'm not going to say what it is, but it's near Armidale. If anyone in Australia knows where Armidale is, he lives about 3 hours away from Armidale. So he lives with a friend of his. They both retired and moved up there. They live in the same house. They're basically a partnership, but not a relationship. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, there's no point into me going into that. So yeah, so they have, you know, their house has 2 bedrooms. I lied. Their house has 3 bedrooms. There's my grandpa's, my papa's bedroom, Bob's bedroom, and then a spare bedroom. And the spare bedroom has 2 single beds in it, and there was Mum, Nathan, and I. So we were like, okay, well, what we did last time was Mum slept in the spare room. Basically, you walk in, it's not that big of a room, but against the window there's a single bed, and then against the same wall that the door is on, there's a single bed, so there's a little gap in the middle of the room, if that makes sense, in between the beds. And obviously Nathan and I are going to sleep in a single bed together. And if you guys have tried with your partner sleeping in a single bed, it is really uncomfortable. So Nathan and I chose the one that was against the wall, because at least then, like, I wouldn't be, because I always sleep against the wall, at least then I wouldn't be like falling out the window. So we're sleeping against the window, and I was we were sleeping against the window. We were sleeping against the wall, and my mum was in bed sleeping against the window, and it was basically like he was lying on his back with his arm out, and I was on my side, kind of huddled into him, if that makes sense, and I was facing the room with my back to the wall on my side, and he was on his back. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyway, I feel like I'm explaining that way too in depth for it to, I don't know. So anyway, because he lives so far away, we get there at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, and we have to leave at like 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. We just go up there, check how everything's doing, make sure they're eating, blah, blah, blah. So Anyway, we were exhausted, and I mean, they're old, so they go to bed at like 8. Mum went to bed at like 7 because she was exhausted. Nathan and I went to bed at about 8:30. We just wanted to make sure that my grandpa and Bob were in bed, that the house was locked up, so we ended up getting to bed about 8:30, which is really early, but we had been up since 2 o'clock that morning. So anyway, so we're asleep in bed, and so we were asleep. It was about 8:30, and I had been awake. Like, my grandpa and Bob yell out to each other just out of habit, I suppose. My grandpa is deaf as a fucking doorknob. Like, he's so deaf. And Bob was quite sick for a while. He's not anymore, but basically he just yells out every now and then just to make sure that Bob's okay. But it's hilarious because half the time he's like, "Pardon? I can't hear you." It's just really funny. So I didn't end up getting to sleep till like 10 o'clock because they were yelling back and forth, and I was like, oh my god. Also, so while they're yelling and stuff, they kept getting up to go to the bathroom, and my grandpa has a walker because he can't walk very well. He takes it everywhere. So, and all the floors in their house are wood, like the hallway and everything. So you can hear him, like he's fucking rattling and stomping. Like, he couldn't be quiet or sneak up on you with that walker if he tried. Like, you can hear him coming from the other side of the house. And Bob, basically, once he's in bed, he doesn't get up until he's awake for the morning. So, just thought I'd give you guys that little thing. So yeah, so I was asleep, and all of a sudden the bedroom light turned on, and I had been asleep, and it woke me up, and I was really disorientated. And as I was opening my eyes, I saw a white figure literally this close to my face, and I kid you not, my eyes were wide open, and it was like a glowing white figure, and I was lying there looking at it, and it was leaning over Nathan, because like I said, if you remember, he was on the edge of the bed, so it was leaning over Nathan, looking at me. Like, I couldn't see, there was no eyes or anything, but obviously, like, it was leaning over Nathan right in front of my face. And I started elbowing Nathan. I was like, "Nathan, wake up, there's someone in here, there's someone in the room with us." I was elbowing him, I was pinching him, I was trying to shake him, and like, he's the kind of person that once he falls asleep, you basically have to punch him in the face to wake up. Long story short, once I was like probably borderline having pneumonia, and I was like dying and coughing, and he did not wake up once. And my mum was like handing medicine over him to me, and like he basically, once he's asleep, he's knocked out. So I was like, oh my god. I wasn't scared, but I was like, "Nathan, wake the fuck up, like there's someone in the room." And it probably lasted like, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden the light went out. Now, two things. The first thing is I heard no footsteps. And I will explain in a little bit why I know it wasn't my mum, but I didn't hear footsteps. I thought maybe it was Papa. Like, as it was happening, I don't know, I was so disorientated. I was like, maybe it's Papa who's woken up and has gone, like, because his dementia's pretty bad, so he was like, "Who the fuck is in my house?" Blah, blah, long story. So I was like, maybe it was him. And then I was like, hold on, I didn't hear the walker, because as soon as, I mean, fair enough, it could have been him. He could have come into my room, and I only woke up when he turned the light on. But when the light turned off, I heard nothing. And I know I wasn't dreaming, because if you guys are in a pitch black room, because he lives out in the country, remember, so his town has like a population of like 300. So, I mean, when it's dark, it is like you can't see your hand in front of your face. And the light, because it had been turned on and turned off, the light bulb was still like not glowing, but you could see that it had just been turned off. And after it had happened, I leant over Nathan to the bedside table and checked my phone, and the time said 1:20 a.m. Now, that has no significance to me, I don't think. I've told the story to Mum, and she was like, it doesn't mean anything. But I know I wasn't dreaming, because after it, I remember looking at the, sorry if I'm looking over there, I'm looking at like the ceiling light over in the lounge room. Yeah, so the light was glowing, and then I checked the time, and I remember thinking, oh my god, I have to pee so badly. So then that happened, and I know it wasn't Mum, because after retelling her the story, she was like, "No, I got up in the middle of the night." And I remember her getting up, and that was about 2 hours after. It was about 3 a.m. And I remember her getting up to go to the bathroom, because Papa woke up and was like, "Bob, there's someone in the house." And Bob was like, "It's just Penny, don't worry." And he was like, "Oh, right," and went back to sleep. So I know it wasn't Mum, and Mum was like, I would remember waking up, and I can't explain how amazing it is. Like, I literally, my eyes were wide open. I have never seen, like, I can't explain it. Like, I'm just gobsmacked as to how amazing it was. It wasn't frightening. I was just trying to wake Nathan up. Like, I was trying to wake him up. And he vaguely remembers me trying to wake him up. Like, he vaguely remembers, like, me elbowing him stuff. But He didn't wake up, and the thing that mind fucks me is the light turning on didn't wake Nathan or my mum up. I don't know, really weird. But Mum and I were talking, and we think it's my grandma, which is my mum's mum, which is my papa's ex-wife, because she died when I was 8 and I'm now 19, so that's 11 years ago, and he, with his dementia, has seemingly forgotten that she's passed away. I mean, obviously he was at the funeral and everything, but he's forgotten that she's passed away. So all afternoon he was asking Mum about her, asking how she's going, saying, you know, even though we're divorced, I still love her, maybe one day she can come up here, and he was constantly talking about her. So Mum and I were wondering if it was her, but then I thought, if it was her, would she not go to Mum instead of me? I don't know. I can't even. It is the most amazing experience I've ever had in my entire life. So I thought I'd share that with you guys, because literally it has left me gobsmacked. I know I wasn't dreaming, like I said, because I checked the time and it was 1:20, and I remember I was like, oh my god, I have to pee, but I didn't want to wake Nathan up, and like I didn't want to wake everyone else in the house up because the floor creaks. And I just know that it wasn't anyone in the house, because I didn't hear footsteps, I didn't hear the door open, I didn't hear the door close. And as soon as the light was on and the person was standing, facing, like looking straight at me, the light was off as they were standing right in front of my face. I don't know, Mum thinks it might have just been a guardian angel or something, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys know anything about, you know, seeing white spirits. It was glowing a little bit as well, which I think is so cool. But I'm just so amazed because I've never had such an amazing experience. So I'm going to cut this short because I've got to go to work, and I've only just got enough time to film this. I'm not going to be able to edit it till I get home from work. But yeah, I hope you... Oh my god, the fucking wind just opened the kitchen door and I was like, yeah, I hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!